Do you ever find yourself replaying a past decision, a knot of regret tightening in your stomach? That feeling of "if only I'd chosen differently" is a heavy burden. We've all been there, standing at a crossroads, uncertain, only to later wish we could turn back time. This universal experience of faltering choices isn't a personal failing, but a call for a deeper understanding of how we navigate life's critical moments. The weight of consistently making what feel like bad decisions can be overwhelming. It can erode our confidence, making future choices seem even more daunting. We might blame external factors, bad luck, or a lack of information. But what if the answer isn't outside of us but locked deep within, waiting for the right key? What if a shift in perspective is all that's needed? Imagine a life where decisions, even difficult ones, are met not with anxiety, but with a quiet confidence and clarity. A life where your choices align with your truest self, leading to outcomes that resonate with purpose. This isn't a distant dream. Ancient wisdom, specifically from the heart of Greek philosophy, offers a timeless guide to achieving just that. We turn today to Socrates, a figure synonymous with piercing questions and the relentless pursuit of truth. He didn't offer easy answers, but a method, a simple Greek fix, for navigating the labyrinth of our own minds. His teachings weren't about complex doctrines, but about the profound power of self-examination before we leap into action. The core of Socrates' message and our fix lies in two powerful words: know thyself. It sounds simple, almost cliché, yet its depths are vast. To know yourself is not just about listing your likes and dislikes. It's about understanding the hidden currents of your motivations, fears, values, and beliefs that silently steer your every decision. Why do we make bad decisions? Often, it's because we act on impulse, driven by fleeting emotions or societal pressures. We react rather than respond. Socrates urged us to pause, to create a space between stimulus and response. In this space, true understanding and therefore better decision-making can be born. Consider the decisions you regret. How many were made in a rush, under duress, or without fully considering the deeper implications? Socrates believed that an unexamined life is not worth living, and by extension, an unexamined decision is rarely a good one. The fix begins with this crucial step of introspection. Bad decisions often stem from a misalignment between our actions and our authentic values, or between our perception of a situation and its reality. We chase what we think will make us happy, successful, or safe, based on unverified assumptions. Socrates challenges us to question these very assumptions. The Socratic method, famous for its use in debate, is even more powerful when turned inward. It's about asking ourselves challenging questions. Why do I truly want this? What am I afraid of? What are the underlying beliefs driving this choice? This internal dialogue is the heart of the simple Greek fix. Let's explore this. Think of a recent decision you struggled with. Before you acted, did you ask yourself what core value this choice would honor or betray? Socrates would argue that understanding your fundamental principles, courage, honesty, compassion, growth, is essential before you can choose wisely. Our emotions are powerful guides, but also potential saboteurs in decision-making. Fear can make us overly cautious. Excitement can make us reckless. The Socratic approach isn't to suppress emotion, but to understand its influence. Am I making this decision out of fear, or out of a genuine assessment of the situation? Many bad decisions are rooted in short-term thinking. We opt for immediate gratification over long-term well-being. Socrates encourages a broader perspective. Ask yourself, what are the likely consequences of this choice not just for tomorrow, but for next year or in 5 years? How does it align with my long-term vision for myself? The simple fix involves recognizing the stories we tell ourselves. We often construct narratives to justify our desires or fears, narratives that may not be entirely true. Socrates prompts us to be honest, to dismantle these self-serving stories and face the unvarnished reality of our motivations and the situation at hand. Consider the power of defining your terms. When you say you want success, what does that truly mean for you, not for society or for others? Is it wealth, impact, peace of mind? Socrates knew that vague goals lead to vague, often unsatisfying decisions. Clarity in definition precedes clarity in choice. The Socratic path isn't about achieving perfection in decision-making. It's about fostering a mindset of continuous inquiry and self-awareness. Each decision becomes an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to refine your understanding of your values and the world. This process itself is a form of wisdom. One of the most common traps is the illusion of limited options. We often feel stuck between two undesirable choices. Socrates would encourage us to challenge this binary. Are these truly my only options? What creative alternatives have I not yet considered? This questioning can unlock new pathways. The pressure to decide quickly can lead to significant errors. The Socratic approach inherently values deliberation. Give yourself permission to pause, to reflect, to gather not just external information, but internal wisdom. This pause is not procrastination. It is preparation for a more considered choice. Know thyself also means understanding your biases. We all have them: confirmation bias, availability heuristic, and more. Socrates would urge us to ask, is my current thinking being skewed by a pre-existing belief or a recent, vivid experience? Am I seeing the whole picture? Another crucial Socratic question: what is the worst that could happen if I make this choice? And how would I deal with it? This isn't about dwelling on negativity, but about realistic risk assessment and building resilience. Often, our imagined fears are far worse than the potential reality. Conversely, ask, what is the best possible outcome, and what must be true for that to happen? This helps connect your decisions to your aspirations and identify the conditions necessary for success. It aligns action with desired positive futures, moving beyond mere problem avoidance. The Socratic fix isn't a one-time application but a habit of mind. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice self-interrogation before deciding, the stronger your decision-making muscle becomes, and the more natural this insightful process will feel. One simple Socratic technique: before any significant decision, write down your initial inclination. Then, play devil's advocate with yourself. Argue passionately for the opposite choice. This forces you to examine your assumptions and strengthens your final resolve, whichever way you decide. How much of your decision-making is influenced by the desire for external approval? Socrates was famously indifferent to popular opinion when it conflicted with truth. Ask, am I making this choice to please others, or because it aligns with my own authentic self and well-reasoned judgment? Socrates believed that no one knowingly does evil or makes a bad choice if they truly understand what is good. Bad decisions often arise from ignorance, not a lack of raw intelligence, but an ignorance of one's true self, true values, or the true nature of the situation. The fix, then, is illumination. The simple Greek fix is empowering because it places the locus of control firmly within you. It's not about waiting for external circumstances to align or for someone else to give you the answer. The wisdom you need is accessible through your own disciplined inquiry. Think of your mind as a garden. If left untended, weeds of unexamined thoughts and assumptions will proliferate, choking out clear judgment. Socratic questioning is like careful gardening, identifying, uprooting, and cultivating what truly serves your growth and well-being. A key element of knowing thyself is understanding your own patterns. Do you tend to procrastinate on big decisions, or rush into them impulsively? Recognizing these habitual tendencies is the first step to consciously choosing a different, more effective approach. The Socratic approach encourages humility. It's an admission that we don't have all the answers, and that our initial perceptions might be flawed. This humility opens the door to genuine learning and wiser choices, free from the arrogance of unearned certainty. Is this choice rooted in love or fear? This is a profound Socratic-style question that can cut through much complexity. Decisions made from a place of expansive love for self, for others, for a principle, often have a different quality and outcome than those driven by contraction and fear. True self-knowledge isn't a destination, but an ongoing journey. Each decision, examined through this Socratic lens, adds another layer to your understanding. Don't be discouraged if it feels challenging at first. The clarity gained is cumulative and immensely rewarding. The beauty of this fix is its universality. It applies to small daily choices and monumental life decisions alike. Whether choosing a career path or how to respond to a difficult conversation, the principles of self-reflection and value alignment hold true. Socrates taught that the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. This isn't a call to ignorance, but an invitation to perpetual curiosity and openness. By acknowledging the limits of our knowledge, we become more receptive to deeper truths before making a decision. When faced with a dilemma, try articulating the problem to an imaginary Socrates. How would you explain your reasoning? What questions do you think he would ask you? This simple thought experiment can often illuminate hidden flaws in your logic or unacknowledged motivations. This Greek fix isn't about becoming emotionless or purely analytical. It's about integrating your heart and mind. To know yourself is to understand your emotional landscape and your rational capacities, using both in harmony to guide your choices. True wisdom is holistic. The courage to be honest with yourself is paramount. It's easy to rationalize or avoid uncomfortable truths about our desires or fears. But Socrates would insist, the unvarnished truth, however difficult, is the only firm foundation for a good decision. How often do we make decisions based on shoulds imposed by others or society, rather than our own intrinsic wants or needs that align with our core? The Socratic method helps differentiate between external expectations and internal, authentic directives. Consider the long-term impact on your character. Ask, what kind of person will I become if I consistently make choices like this one? This shifts the focus from the immediate outcome to the enduring effect on who you are. Your decisions shape your being. This fix isn't about finding the one right answer. Often, there are multiple good paths. The goal is to choose a path that is right for you, authentic, aligned with your values and consciously chosen so you can walk it without regret, regardless of the outcome. Remember, the Socratic approach is a process of questioning, not a prescription of answers. The insights and the right decision for you will emerge from your own dedicated self-reflection. Trust in your capacity to find your own wisdom. What if a decision leads to an unexpected or unfavorable outcome, even after careful Socratic reflection? This method isn't a guarantee of external success, but it does reduce regret, because you know you made the most conscious, authentic choice possible with the understanding you had. One practical Socratic exercise: for any choice, list the pros and cons. Then for each item, ask, why is this a pro? Or why is this a con? Keep asking why until you reach a core value or a fundamental assumption. This uncovers deeper motivations. The fear of missing out, FOMO, can drive many poor decisions. Socratic questioning helps counter this. What am I truly afraid of missing? Is this fear based on a genuine need or an illusion of scarcity? Understanding the root of FOMO can diminish its power over your choices. This ancient Greek fix is profoundly simple. Stop, look inward, question deeply, understand your values, and then act. It doesn't require complex tools, only your willingness to engage honestly with yourself. The complexity arises from our own unexamined minds. Socrates emphasized the importance of understanding concepts like justice, beauty, or goodness. Before you decide what is a good choice, take time to define what good means to you in this specific context, beyond superficial interpretations. This deepens your evaluative framework. Don't confuse Socratic questioning with self-criticism. This isn't about berating yourself for past mistakes. It's a compassionate, constructive process aimed at future wisdom. The tone of your inner dialogue should be curious and kind, like a wise mentor, not a harsh judge. The Socratic method empowers you to be the author of your own life, rather than a reactor to its events. Each examined choice is a deliberate stroke of the pen, writing a story that is authentically yours. This is the essence of a self-directed, meaningful existence. Consider how your physical state influences your decisions. Are you tired, hungry, stressed? Socrates, while focused on the mind, would recognize that our physical well-being impacts our clarity. A simple check-in. Am I in a fit state to make this important decision? The simple Greek fix is also about discerning signal from noise. In our information-saturated world, many voices and data points compete for our attention. Socratic inquiry helps you filter this, focusing on what is truly relevant to your values and the core of the decision at hand. One powerful question: if I were advising my dearest friend in this exact situation, what would I tell them? This often creates a degree of objectivity and compassion that can be harder to apply to ourselves, revealing a wiser course of action. Remember that inaction is also a decision. Sometimes, after Socratic reflection, the wisest choice is to wait, to gather more information, internal or external, or to let a situation unfold further. Conscious inaction is very different from fearful avoidance. The goal is not to eliminate all uncertainty. That's impossible. The goal is to navigate uncertainty with greater clarity, purpose, and self-awareness. The Socratic method provides the compass and the map for this journey, even when the terrain is unknown. Ask yourself, what is the underlying need this decision is trying to meet? Is it a need for security, love, recognition, growth? Identifying the fundamental need can help you find more direct and fulfilling ways to meet it, rather than through convoluted or misaligned choices. Socrates believed virtue is knowledge. Not academic knowledge, but a deep understanding of what is truly good for the human soul. When we make bad decisions, it's often from a mistaken idea of what will bring us genuine well-being. The fix is to clarify this understanding. Don't be afraid to change your mind if new insights emerge through Socratic reflection. True strength isn't rigid adherence to an initial stance, but the flexibility to adapt based on deeper understanding. This is intellectual honesty in action. The essence of this Socratic approach is to make your unconscious motivations conscious. Many of our choices are driven by programming from our past, our upbringing, or societal conditioning. Questioning brings these hidden drivers into the light of awareness, where they can be examined and chosen or discarded. Before making a choice, visualize the future where you've made it. How does it feel? Does it bring a sense of peace, alignment, and integrity, or a subtle disquiet? This intuitive check, guided by prior Socratic inquiry, can be a powerful indicator. This simple Greek fix ultimately cultivates wisdom. And wisdom isn't just knowing things. It's understanding the interconnectedness of things, including your actions and their far-reaching consequences, your values and your happiness. It's living an examined, integrated life. The process of Socratic questioning can itself bring a sense of calm. By methodically exploring your thoughts and feelings, you move from a state of confused reactivity to one of empowered observation and understanding, even before the final decision is made. How would your ideal self, the person you aspire to be, handle this decision? Projecting yourself into this wiser, more evolved version can provide clarity and courage. What principles would guide them? What would they prioritize? The Socratic method helps dismantle limiting beliefs about yourself or the world that may be holding you back from making expansive, growth-oriented decisions. I'm not good enough. It's not possible for me. These are thoughts to be questioned, not accepted as facts. This journey of self-examination is not always comfortable. It requires courage to face your flaws, your fears, your contradictions. But the reward making decisions that are deeply, authentically yours and minimizing regret is immeasurable. This is the path to true freedom. Remember, Socrates himself claimed his wisdom lay in knowing he knew nothing. This humility is key. Approach each decision not as an expert with all the answers, but as a curious student of your own life, always open to learning more about yourself and the situation. So the simple Socratic fix for bad decisions isn't a magic spell. It is a commitment to a specific kind of thinking, disciplined, honest self-interrogation. It's about asking better questions before you arrive at answers. It's about pausing, reflecting, and aligning. Try this today with a small decision. Before you act, pause, ask yourself, why this choice? What value does it honor? What assumption is it based on? Notice how even this brief reflection can shift your perspective and the quality of your choice. This is the practice. The more you integrate this process, the more your decisions will feel like expressions of your authentic self, rather than reactions to external pressures or internal confusions. This leads to a profound sense of integrity and inner peace, even amidst life's complexities. To stop making bad decisions, then, is to start a conversation with yourself, a deep, honest, and ongoing dialogue. Socrates gave us the framework. The courage to use it and the wisdom that follows is yours to cultivate. It is the journey of a lifetime. This is not about overthinking every minor detail of your life into paralysis. It's about applying conscious reflection where it matters most, on decisions that shape your path and your well-being. Wisdom lies in knowing when to delve deep and when to trust informed intuition. The promise of this simple Greek fix is not a life free of problems, but a life where you meet problems with greater wisdom, clarity, and self-possession. It's about transforming your relationship with decision-making itself, from a source of anxiety to an opportunity for growth. So the next time you face a choice, big or small, remember Socrates. Pause, ask, listen to the answers that arise from within. The path to better decisions, to a life more authentically lived, begins with that courageous internal inquiry. Embrace the Socratic spirit. Question your assumptions. Know your values. Choose consciously. In doing so, you don't just stop making bad decisions. You start crafting a life of deeper meaning, purpose, and wisdom. The power has always been within you.